everyone, it's Hayley here. Today I was joined by the chair of our Resident Experience Committee, or REC for short, and board member Sara Garnham. She explained a little bit more about her role, what a typical meeting looks like for REC, what was discussed at last night's meeting, and we also spoke about resident recruitment to try and get some more residents involved with the committee. So I hope you enjoy my catch up with Sara.
Hi Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your role within our Resident Experience Committee?
Hi Hayley, lovely to see you again. So I'm chair of the Resident Experience Committee. I was the first chair as we formed the committee and recruited lots of new residents. So I chair the meetings and I work with our vice chair Keith to produce the agendas.
Perfect. And what typically happens at the meetings?
Well, most of our meetings are now in person, which is a great opportunity for everybody to get together with lots of the Havebury team. We have a mixture of formal reports, of presentations, and we do some work in small groups. So if we're looking at perhaps a new strategy, or we're at the beginning of a discussion about a subject, then we'll break up into small groups with some residents, some independent members, and then some members of the Havebury team. So everybody gets a chance to have a say, and it's not perhaps quite so intimidating as talking in a big group.
Yeah, that's really nice, and it's really good that you get to meet in person as well, because I think you really get a feel for the group then, don't you?
Yes, no, it seems to work well.
Yeah, no, that's really good to hear. So you had a meeting in person last night. So can you give us a bit of a summary of what was discussed in the February REC meeting?
So it's one of our regular meetings, so it's a 2-hour meeting, but we always start with a presentation of some sort. So we might have one of the team members coming from Havebury to talk to us about various subjects. But last night we heard from Matt at Cornerstone. Now, some residents might be aware that they're working on the Ansem House project with the Wave 2 funding that's looking at the sustainability improvements. And we wanted to hear from the contractors about how it was going and how they were supporting residents in what's quite a complicated set of works.
Yeah.
Windows and doors and outside cladding and ventilation and so on. And so he came along with Josh and spoke to us about how the project's being managed. And it's absolutely clear that Cornerstone are real heroes for the residents in how they've been supporting and managing the project. And it was really great to hear positive feedback from him and compliments from Josh, certainly. So that was a really positive start before we got into our formal meeting.
Yeah.
So we then went on and had to deal with some regular business. We normally have a series of reports that look at things like performance, resident engagement, complaints, customer service standards were discussed last night, and the grounds maintenance service. Under performance, we spent quite a lot of time focusing on liberty. Now, we're obviously aware, as lots of residents are aware, that there's lots of feedback and concerns at the moment about performance there. We spent a lot of time questioning the Havebury team and were reassured there's clearly robust management in place and we are seeing improvements, but we've certainly flagged it up as a matter to keep a close eye on because we don't want to turn it to turn into a real risk area.
No, definitely not.
We're hoping within 3 months, with the plan that's in place, things are going to turn round. So we'll be talking about it in our May meeting again, I'm sure.
No, that's good.
So that was a big discussion there, certainly. We then had Mark come back to talk to us, and many residents will know Mark, obviously, is leading the grounds maintenance team. And today is a year since the project came in-house. So last night it was great to hear him talk about how things have changed and where things have gone, because he came to talk to REC just after the contract had moved over. And we've noticed in the course of reporting over the year about how things have been going positively. But it was great, for example, to hear from Keith, who's a resident committee, who's chair of the complaints panel, talk about how the number of complaints about the grounds maintenance service has dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, which is all we could have asked for.
It's obviously a really positive service, and we made sure that Mark took back the message to his team that they're such an important part of the frontline service, and we're really pleased to hear what a great job they're doing. So that was a really positive item.
Yeah,
So,
really great news. And I think I was talking to Mark today as well, and the team have been exactly the same since a year ago. So everyone's enjoying it just as much as the residents are enjoying having them on their estate. So that's a really positive thing.
yes. And it's great to have that journey from a year ago to last night, certainly.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good balance of the kind. So we talk about things that are concerning residents and
Yep.
where performance isn't so great, but we also get feedback and make sure we're looking at the things that are doing well.
Yeah.
Because obviously there are lessons to be learned about what we can transfer from one to the other to some extent.
Definitely. And you play a huge part in that. So no, we really appreciate everyone's feedback.
And then I suppose there's one other key reporting area that I just wanted to touch on. So last night, during the course of the meeting, there were various points in the meeting where we were talking about things that were really relevant for shared owners. And we have shared owners sitting on the committee. And Joe came up with some really good ideas, which the team are going to take away in terms of looking for better communication opportunities with shared owners, whether it's the way the portal is set up or other opportunities, because they are part of the Havebury community.
Yeah.
And we've got some work to do there, certainly, to make sure they feel included and their voice is heard as well.
Definitely.
So it was great to get that contribution on the committee. And then so finally, as we were rounding up, we were updated on the plans for more recruitment of residents to REC. We're trying to do more to explain to the community what's going on and how we work, certainly. So this is part of that, but watch out for some new videos as well from some of our REC members who will be talking about how it works, what's expected of them.
Yeah.
You know, what it's like in real life. And there are opportunities, obviously, for other residents to get involved too.
Perfect. No, that sounds really good.
My roundup.
Yeah, and we're going to show on the next slide details of who you can contact if you are interested. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, pop them in. No questions, a silly question, and we'll get them answered for you. So yeah, we'll give you a good insight into the REC members and what exciting projects you could get involved in.
Brilliant. That's
lovely.
Hayley, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Really good. See you soon.